What's up, everybody out in YouTube Vegas? Man, we're back finishing up our 308 series. This is our introduction, self-introduction, if you will, to loading 308. We loading 308 for any of you that are just joining us. This is all range brass that I'm using that I have prepared in other videos. We're loading 165 grain SST, Hornaday SST, on top of 40 grains of IMR 4895. This is a real low yield charge. Should not cause us any problems. It's right in the middle. I've used both the Nosler book and the Lyman book, kind of to come up with some recipes. I don't have, like I promised you I would, I don't have my chronograph. It is on order. Amazon has told me it is out for delivery. Then they followed that up very, very quickly with, we're lost. We don't know where it's at. We don't know when you'll get it. So I can't really do anything until the 28th, when I can file a claim and ask for a new one or get my money back. Probably just going to get them to reorder it. But getting things delivered here has been an absolute nightmare. I am in a huge quarrel right now with Fox Holsters. They seem to be incommunicado. They will not respond to voicemails, text messages, emails, anything that I've tried to get in touch with them. Hell, I'll send them a smoke signal if that's what will get them working. But I'm going to cancel that order. Find something that I can get my hands on for my PPS. But let's jump right into loading these 308s. And if you guys got any questions, just chime in. I'll stop what I'm doing and answer them. Like I said, we've already got our 308 brass. The process I've been using is I just set one out. I have already calibrated everything. I have a analog caliper, and I have the RCBS M500 beam scale. I zeroed them right before I got on here with you guys. So I'm going to show you my process, and you guys tell me what you think. I've got my powder measure dropping just a little light, and the couple days ago I was able to slip out and I found a Frankfurt Arsenal trickler, powder trickler, and it has made my life so much better. This is really the first time that I've gotten out in front of you guys on loading these rounds. Everything else you've kind of seen live as I learned, but I wanted this to be a little more seamless, look like I knew a little more what the hell I was doing. And so I've loaded a few already, and I will tell you, over using the Lee scoops, which are still very serviceable and they do help around the bench a little bit, this little Frankfurt Arsenal trickler, man, it is the bee's knees, and I'm in love with it. It helps me dial in that 40 grains very, very easily. I feel like it's super accurate. Then I just drop my case, use the old RCB funnel, dump my charge in, slide it in the press. Now on this press, I have everything set up for the length that I want to try to load. I don't know how that's going to hit. I don't know where that's going to land in my rifle relative to the rifling, but we'll find that out. I will get the Hornaday device where I can measure how deep in the rifle the lands start. I don't have that yet. And what I've been doing is I start the bullet in, and then I rotate it. And I push it a little farther, and then a third time. And thanks to Scott, I started doing that hoping to mitigate any run out where the bullet was seated in the cartridge a little wonky. The overall length that I'm looking for is 2.650. Our Sammy overall maximum on a 308 is 2.810. Obviously, I want to come up a little shorter than that. You may or may not be able to see that on this caliper, but that is almost 2.650 exactly. It's about 2.66. And these have been coming in about 1 or 2 thousandths. 3 thousandths has been the max that they've been different. And the way I came up with that measurement was that guesstimate really for my overall length was I took a couple of rounds out of my safe that I've been shooting out of my 308. I think I've told you about my rifle. And I measured just factory stuff. They've shot relatively well, no tack driving stuff. We're just talking about Winchester white box, some Fiocchi, all full metal jacket stuff. And those have ran really consistent in my PA-10. Now my PA-10 is a stock rifle, no upgrades, 20-inch stainless barrel. I really like the rifle. I've had no problems with it after initial break-in. I did have a little bit of problem with the bolt carrier group. PSA was absolutely fantastic with customer service. I've heard other people say they were slow. Hell, I don't know what you would do to be any more professional than they were. I dropped it off in the Greenville office with the explanation of what was wrong. They said it'd be 2 weeks to get it back to me. They called me on the day 2 weeks later and said, your rifle's ready. And I said, well, where can I pick it up? Because I knew they had actually sent it down to their Columbia office. And the guy on the phone, he was everything you'd want out of customer service. He said, sir, where would you like it delivered? And he said, we'll send it to Columbia if that's where you want to pick the rifle up. I couldn't be happier with them. The rifle's functioned flawlessly since then. I'm going to load a few of these. You guys got questions about what we're doing? I'd love to see some comments. I've got these necks all brushed out. We're going to just keep kind of going through the process here. Like I said, we're dropping this just a little light. And this this powder trickler, that's coming in a good bit light. Something may have changed on my... We'll open that up just a little bit. But you'll notice how I kind of duck down. My chair doesn't really fall perfectly on this beam scale. I may have to build me a little bit of a riser for this beam scale, because that'll be cheaper than buying a new chair. And while I was talking to you guys, I got distracted and I kept turning the handle and I dropped too much powder. So let's try that again. Alright, there we go. Still a little light, but a lot better. And I loosened that up a little bit. This time I'm going to focus a little bit more. And what I was saying was I get kind of down on this scale a little bit. And I'm hoping to take out any parallax error. So I'm not looking at that from a funky angle, but I get straight on as much as I can. We just dropped those right in. I got a little bit late start on this video tonight because anybody that's local will know we are under tornado warnings. And we had some pretty severe hail earlier, so in case there was problems and had to head out or something, I postponed starting this video. And man, that's what we're coming out with right there. And they are all looking just absolutely factory fresh. .640, loving it. And but I think we're outside that tornado concern now. So I'm just kind of off in here in my man cave. For the first time, you can kind of see what I'm doing back here. You've always been kind of coming at it from that angle. Got my Betsy Ross flag up there. That was a show contribution from somebody else. I appreciate that. That guy knows who he is. And we're just going to load a couple of more. Thank everybody that has stuck around. Channel seems to be growing a little bit right now, and man, I couldn't be happier about that. I hope somebody's getting something out of this. I've actually had more comments lately than I've ever had before, and one of the things that I had really kind of determined when I started this channel was, if I can just make one person, or if I can make a difference in one person's ability to be more independent, somebody learn to kind of get into anything to do with the Second Amendment, then I would consider myself successful. And I've had a couple of comments lately from guys that are actually interested in getting into reloading that have been very complimentary of what we're doing. And that's honestly, I couldn't ask for anything more. That is high praise indeed, because there is a ton of content out there, and for somebody to take the time to sit here and watch a big hillbilly talk about learning how to reload, man, it is absolutely it's humbling. I'll be honest with you, because I know how much my time's worth, and I know most of you guys feel the same way. So thanks for hanging out with us. I'm going to load this one real here. And then I think everybody's starting to get the picture of what we're doing. And trying to do everything consistent. Manage best practices from what I've learned so far around not only around the internet, but some guys that have consulted with me personally. Man, these things are just coming out ridiculously and almost boringly consistent. And that's very, very exciting. Once the chronograph comes in, I'll really be excited to see how they're performing. I don't want to load a ton of these because once the chronograph comes in, I'd like to load a couple of these to kind of maximize performance. So while I was out, I told you I found that little Frankfurt Arsenal powder trickler. I was very excited to find some powder back on the shelves. So what I did was, even though it was not the powder that I had originally decided to load 223 with, I did find some Benchmark. I don't know if you can see that. I did find some Benchmark. It is highly, a lot of guys love it for their 223 operation. So while it was available, I went ahead and picked it up. I am still looking for primers to come back on the shelf. I'm really trying to avoid paying that hazmat fee, so that's been my big thing. Just anything that I could buy locally, even if maybe it was not what I had originally intended to load with. That's, to me, during this kind of spooling up process or this learning process, I don't want to be investing an extra $25 or $30 for hazmat fees, which, you know, $30, hell, that's another 1,000 primers. So, been trying to avoid that, but 223 is obviously where we're going next. Tomorrow, good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, literally in this case, is going to be Rains Day. I have it on pretty good authority that the Beard's coming over. He's got a new little blaster I think he's going to try out, and his sweet thing, who has not given me permission to use her name or likeness on here just yet. She has purchased for herself a Glock 43, and damn if she ain't getting pretty good with it. And so I'm sure she'll probably be over, and she'll probably be doing a little practicing with that. May get a little footage of that, see if we can work that into a video somehow. Thanks everybody sticking around. I know we've kind of been scattered at times, doing some bourbon reviews. A lot of you have watched us go all the way through our 9mm series, and now this initial 308 series. Once the chronograph comes in, we're going to start dialing some of these rifles in, my pistols in, to performance levels to see how accurate they shoot, how hard we can push these things, and get the most out of them. I really appreciate everybody making contributions in the last videos, putting us out on Facebook. Actually, it's driven a lot of our new subscribers, and as we progress. I hope if there's something on here that you found valuable, you give us a thumbs up. If there's something you want to see differently, you'll drop us a comment. Take a minute, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button. Tell somebody that that you like, that you what you found here. If you think they would enjoy it too, and if you'll stick around, we'll see you on the next one.